of Sons of Guns last night, you saw the MG34 that I built. That one I built off of a semi-receiver. Pretty cool. A little difficult. 34s are finicky weapons. Really finicky. But they're beautiful. And this one happens to belong to Acadiana GunWorks, where we're at now. And I wanted to go over some stuff with it that wasn't covered last night. Just get a little more in depth on the weapon. Of course, we have soundtrack music. That's awesome. Gotta have a soundtrack. Unfortunately, Sons of Guns, we can't have a soundtrack. So we do here. Mostly it's going to be trivia. Thanks, Pandora. Okay, so let's get right down to it. MG34, the first world's truly successful general-purpose machine gun. General purpose. Serves a dual purpose. The light machine gun, actually it's more than dual purpose, but it serves as a light machine gun. It serves as an anti-aircraft gun. It serves as a heavy machine gun on the tripod. And it serves as a coax gun in tanks or armored vehicles. It's a general purpose, multi-purpose machine gun, and this was the first one that was really successful in that role. The tank version is different in the shroud area. I actually have a tank shroud at home. I'll try and insert a picture in this video if I can figure out how to do that. For anti-aircraft use, you plug it in the correct mount, of course, and there's a spider sight that goes here. Flip that up, and there's your anti-aircraft sight. Kind of cool. Now let's go over the workings of the gun. First thing, bipod. Yeah, it's just a good place to start it then. Bipod. This right here, you can adjust your height on it. You can get it way up high, or way down low. Somewhat way down low with it. I have it spread pretty high because of my narrow area on my bench. I want it to fit on there without falling off. This is stamped metal. There's very few stamped parts on the MG34. This is one of them. This is a direct copy, except for the mounting area. Well, no, the mounting area is the same. This is a direct copy of the MG13, which there's a lot of MG13 in this. There's a whole bunch of different guns in the MG34 that combined made it a successful weapon. Although, like I said, it is finicky. It is really finicky. So here we go. Here's our flash hider. This gun has already been checked, clear and safe. This is kind of how the gun works right up here. Flash hider. Oh man, people are going to kill me over this. I can't remember if this is the nozzle or the bushing. I believe it's the bushing, but we're going to call it the nozzle just because they're all 50-50. Right here, this is the barrel. What happens when you fire a round out of this thing, the gases come out. Some gases are trapped inside of here and push back on the barrel. When the barrel pushes back, it unlocks the bolt. It also goes against what you can't see inside the receiver. I'll show it to you all in a little while. It's the recuperating plunger, return plunger I think is the appropriate word for it. That forces it back. But anyway, recoil. The barrel's recoiling. It unlocks the bolt, which twists. The bolt comes back. It hits your buffer, which is back here in the end. And all that spring energy in your return spring and in your buffer forces the bolt back. The barrel's already returned through the use of the return rod, recuperator rod, with it, what have you. I'm not good with nomenclature, I'll admit it. But it's all coming back, the bolt locks up, and the cycle's repeated. There's a little more to it than that, you know, the trigger group and all that. But that's basically it. It's not bad. Let me show you something really cool on the MG34. This is going to blow y'all's minds. It's one of the first guns with a quick release barrel. First off, safe. You can't charge it in safe. There's a little blocking knob in there. Alright, so my bolt's back. My gun's on safe. It's hard to do from the side. Oh, it's real hard to do from the side. I'm doing it the right way. There we go. Twist the receiver and all this guts out of the way. Tilt it down. There's your barrel. Gets real hot after about a 250 round burst or 250 rounds through it. Replace your barrel. Turn. Off safe. You're back to firing. You can actually do that a lot quicker, but like I said, I'm limited room here. I'm not behind the gun, I'm on the side of it, which turns out to be kind of weird. But you know, fold down sights, just so they don't get snagged on stuff in transport. Top cover, you see it's all machined, the internals. The top cover itself is stamped. This part is stamped. But everything in it and everything right here is all machined, making this a very expensive weapon to produce. Everything on this thing is machined. Alright, so squeeze this little button, top cover comes off. Feed tray, another stamped part. You see the bolt. Right off the bat, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but right off the bat, you can see the bolt's a complicated piece. I mean, there's like 100 million parts in there. There's a lot of parts. Alright, so come over here. There's a little button down here. You press it, turn. Your buttstock comes off. And your buffer. That's your buffer right there. You can't really see it, but inside there's this big spring type of thing that stores energy and releases for recoil, or counter recoil, I should say. Recoil spring, it's not a wound type like the MG42. It's just a spring, big spring. You'll go through a lot of those building up one of these because you got to search for one that works really well. All right. I want the bolt to shoot across the room. This is the bolt. This thing, oh my God, it is, look at it. I mean, just in the head, the bolt head itself, there's 1, 2, there's a part in there, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's, like I said, one of the problems. See that little ring right there? It's worn. So my rollers fell out. That's not good, so I'm gonna have to repair that. I'm glad I took it apart. Alright, so I was probably at 9 or something. 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's just in the first inch and a half of bolt right there. There's 13 parts. And that madness continues for the duration of the bolt. Now, how's it fire? The bolt is normally in the receiver. When it's full back, it's an open bolt weapon. Actually, it's this way. When it's full back, it's like this. This right here is your sear. This catches on your sear on your trigger, on your receiver rather. So, bolt comes forward. Bolt gets in the camming area and twists. While it twists, the body stays still. The bolt head twists. And what happens is this right here is a trigger bar. That'll come as the bolt head's twisting, it hits this ramp. Bang. Fires. And of course it's recocked and it comes into counter recoil. Alright. See what else we got. Press a little button, charging handle. You know, ironically there was a real shortage of charging handles. You could get the kits, but the charging handles were a real pain to get. Figure it out. Alright, so press this. That's a lot easier with all the guts out. Barrel. Something kind of neat on the barrel, I guess. You can see right here this little camming area. It's kind of rounded and kind of weird looking. Your bolt actually hits that in cams. So there's a camming area here and in the receiver, which I'll show you all in a second. Press this button, find the sweet spot, receiver comes out. Alright, up here is your true camming area. That's your return plunger or recuperator, depending on what you want to call it. You can see right here the camming area. It's basically the same shape as that part I showed y'all on the barrel, but you know, a little thicker. your bolt rides on it, your rollers ride on it, and cams on it. So it goes in there, twists to lock, untwist to unlock. Right here, your ejector plate. There's a little ejector bar on the bolt that comes up, hits that, and is forced this way, and that forces you round down through the bottom. This is a re-welded receiver, fully legal. We have the correct licenses to do that. I mostly made it to find out what the hell that made the 34 work, so I could do semis and stuff like that. I've got a couple ideas, but nothing solid yet on a new semi design. In here, you can see the sears. Let's see if you can see them work. Alright, that is semi-auto. That is full auto. I know, it doesn't look any different from y'all. But let me show y'all something cool. This is the trigger mechanism for the MG34. I'm not going to take this fire control group out. It is a pain. Well, yeah, there's like 100 million parts in there. Trust me on that. But it's cool. Alright, right here, this is Ein something or other, semi-auto. Right there. That's what you press for semi. Right here is German for something. This is full auto fire. What happens is semi-auto goes back and hits a stop. When you go full auto, it goes back, hits that stop, press that little secondary trigger, it'll go back farther and allow you to fire full auto. Pretty ingenious. There may be other guns that do this, have this mechanism, but I don't know of any right off the top of my head. It's pretty cool. This big lug back here y'all been seeing, you're probably going, what the hell is that? Well, that mounts in your Lafette mount, or Lafitte mount, depending on where you're from, you know, north or south, blah, 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 blah. But that mounts in there, pump, lock around the barrel, and that is a badass mount. You're talking at 100 yards, dinner plate side circle with a machine gun. That fires 1,000 rounds a minute. That's stupid accurate. This lug, of course, that's how you mount the barrel jacket on there. This mounts the top cover. You can see, look at the machining in this. Now watch, let me show you something else. I'm going to show you why a lot of people just don't mess with the 34 as far as recoil. This is going to blow y'all's minds. 42s, 240s, damn near everything, there's a lot of slop in them. Just to get dirt out, blah, 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 blah. Look at the tolerance that is in the 34. There is no tolerance. I mean, this is me shaking the bolt body. Well, I guess it'd be the carrier, the bolt carrier around in there. You see, there's nothing but a couple thousandths of play. So if you do this wrong, if you build this wrong, if you're a couple thousandths off anywhere, or you have a couple thousandths of trash in there, your gun's not going to fire. It's going to hang up. It's an incredibly complex piece of machinery. Look at it. Look at it. It's so cute going back and forth. Okay. Now, here's more madness that is the bolt. This little part right here, again, nomenclature is not my big strong point. Push that down, turn it, thump, and this goes fling, because there's a firing pin spring in there. Ask me how I know. First time I messed with one, I was quite surprised. Okay, let's see here. Barrel jacket. As I said, there's different styles. I think 4 different styles. Mostly it has to do with where the holes are, except for the Panzer mantle, which is pretty solid. It has a couple little ventilation holes in it, but not many. Because, you know, in a tank you're cruising over trees and stuff like that. These are actually pretty fragile. You can bend them relatively easy when they're like Swiss cheese. But with the Panzer mantle, it's a lot more robust. Alright, so you can see these little areas down here. Those lock into that for transport. Or if you're on the Lafette. Pretty cool. Squeeze these little things here. There's one on each side. Boom, you're ready for action. This particular gun, most of it, I guess y'all can see that, is a .44. It's a real nice, really nice finish and patina on the whole gun. Oh, there's another stamp part. So you can see there's just not many stamp parts on this. This is a quality weapon made in that heyday, I guess, of building machine guns. Okay, here's something cool. The buttstock. I have one for my tanker kit, which is going to be a semi here pretty soon. It's all matching. I never want to have it cut up again, so I'm not going to post sample that. This is the buttstock. Pretty cool. These things are actually real expensive. Actually, everything to do with the MG34 is very expensive and very time consuming. Look at the machining in that. That's pretty cool. There's your little button. But these buttstocks, there's a couple different variants. There's the wood variant, of course. Spared no expense, even got little grooves. There's the Bakelite version, which I like it. I have one for my tanker. And then there's the highly sought after Bakelite version with steel tips. And there's steel tips right here and right here. From what I understand, those steel tips were put there by the, man, my German sucks, but I think it's the Waffen Master or something like that. And the guy is basically a kind of a frontline armorer. He shapes the metal, pins it in place, shapes the metal, pins it in place. You can see how these are chewed up on both sides. Well, the gun rests on that, and it rests on that when it's standing up. The metal takes away that wear on the fragile Bakelite, which is, all in all, it's a little more fragile than wood, but it looks so much cooler. It holds the stampings so much better. That's really it, man. You know what? I am feeling froggy. Hold up just a second. Oh, this is my little work area, by the way. This is my work bench. I work here and do things, you know. Built the PKM yesterday. We're going to take the PKM and the 34 out and do a little comparison. I prefer the 34 hands and above, just in a cooler looking machine gun. But if I had to lug one around, incidentally, the fire control is held on by two of these. One in front, one in back, or one set in front, one set in back, inside one thing. But if I had to lug a machine gun around, it's going to be the PKM. That includes the 240, 249, all that. It's going to be the PKM. Alright. This is the madness that is your MG34 fire control. Look at that. Look at that. That's nuts. That's nuts right there. This little plunger right here, this is what stops your charging handle from going back and forth when it's in safe. Yeah, that. There's like 4 parts that make that little thing work. I haven't discovered another use for it. It's overkill. It really is. Bakelite grips in good condition. It's important to have your machine gun looking good when you go out to the creek, so you don't want cracked grips or something like that. Let's see what else. That's it. That's the MG34. This is my work area. Glad y'all can join me. There will be some more builds. There will be some more in-depth going over different weapons designs. Some my own, most other people's, just because I don't have the time to do my own all the time. I'm glad you could join me. Go ahead and join up on my channel. It's on Flem Gunner on YouTube. Together we'll take a little journey down weapons lane with new and old stuff. Glad y'all could come aboard.